W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater. Net tonight at 8:30. W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater. net.
Good evening, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KDA-BYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2423 with a release date of Friday, April 5th, 2024, to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. Hams are on alert after a bridge collapse in Baltimore. Candidates in Germany prep for the country's newest class ham license. And a weather service outage in the U.S. reminds hams of their vital roles in emergencies. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2423 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Union, Kentucky, here's Neil Rapp, W8VPV.
Our top story is the ongoing recovery following the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in the U.S. city of Baltimore. Hams were put on alert, and several days into the recovery, severe weather rolled in. Kevin Trotman, N5PRE, has this developing story.
A call went out for heightened awareness among radio amateurs in the Baltimore, Maryland area as the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed on Tuesday, March 26th, after being struck by a cargo ship near the port of Baltimore. Shortly after the early morning incident, Chris Van Winkle, AB3WB, manager of the ARRL Maryland DC section, reached out to ARES members section-wide, asking that they stand by. Meanwhile, Maryland and Baltimore officials declared a state of emergency. As Newsline went to production on the 4th of April, hams remained on alert as severe weather pounded the region, posing potential complications to recovery operations near the harbor. Sid Caesar, NH7C, the Assistant Section Manager and Public Information Coordinator, said section leadership continued to be vigilant, engaging in incident planning in case the need arose to activate any amateur radio support in the days ahead. This is Kevin Trotman, N5PRE.
As weather tracking and communications technology grow more sophisticated, it's easy to think that system failures won't be a problem in an emergency. In the American Midwest, however, weather watchers and hams got a dose of reality, as we hear from Randy Sly, W4XJ.
Several areas across the United States received a wake-up call on the night of April 1st, when a national data network outage knocked out radar and warning capabilities in many cities, just as severe weather began hitting the central part of the country. In the St. Louis region, just as a storm system brought heavy rainfall, hail, and even a tornado to the area, the Weather Forecast Office's radar and warning systems went dark. Meteorologists had to rely on other resources while calling on the Kansas City office to provide backup. Michael Musher, A meteorologist and spokesman for the National Weather Service told the media, quote, "During this outage, some warning services were impacted," end quote. He indicated that they are working with network vendors to determine the root cause for the 5-hour blackout. Radio amateurs were active across the heartland. For example, Fox 19 TV in Cincinnati reported ham activity for a tornado in Mason County, Kentucky. A former Skywarn amateur radio coordinator for the Washington, D.C. Baltimore Weather Forecast Office told AR Newsline that the best thing we can do for the National Weather Service is always be ready to serve. This is Randy Sly, W4XJ.
AMSAT-DL has outlined a proposed microwave amateur radio payload for a geostationary satellite in response to requests from the IARU and the European Space Agency. The proposal favors positioning that would include Eastern European countries and large portions of Eastern North America, with the western limit including Ontario and points east. In a 31-slide presentation, AMSAT-DL Kai Siebels, DH0SK, and Matthias Bopp, DD1US, outline a plan that they believe would include the most suitable orbit, comparing the intended coverage to that provided by the successful Oscar 100 satellite. The suggested main downlink would be in the 10 gigahertz band, while the uplink could be on a number of different bands, including 23 centimeters and 13 centimeters, to encourage experimentation. AMSAT-DL also said that the mission would become an excellent resource for disaster and emergency communications, noting that a GEO satellite transponder was used during the earthquake that struck Turkey in 2023. While hams prepare to get on the air on Monday, April 8th to assist with ham-sized ionospheric studies during the solar eclipse over North America, one group of hams in the area of totality will have some more terrestrial reasons to be active. Jack Parker, W8ISH, explains.
Members of the Mid-State Amateur Radio Club in Johnson County, Indiana, have been put on high alert for the upcoming total eclipse on April 8th. County EMA officials requested backup ham radio communications in case their county 800 megahertz radio system becomes overloaded during disaster communications. With over 300,000 out-of-town visitors descending on Franklin, Indiana, the total eclipse epicenter, the sheriff is planning on all cell service and possibly their radio system to be overloaded. When all else fails, that's when the Mid-State Amateur Radio Club OXCOM team comes into play. Nearly 24 hams will be on hand at 6 county-wide deployment sites to handle normal and emergency traffic if needed. The hams have been part of the planning task force since last fall. Johnson County has 2 major interstates and several state highways that carry traffic through the county and around central Indiana. Johnson County roads are expected to be jammed with traffic before and especially after the eclipse. In August of 2017, Kentucky had gridlocked highways for hours following the eclipse. Johnson County is planning for all contingencies, including lost communications. As of last week, the Indiana governor declared a state of emergency until after the eclipse weekend. That's why, if all else fails, there will be amateur radio. This is Jack Parker, W8ISH.
In Germany, the DHAN license is a go. The race is on for hopeful would-be radio amateurs to get their applications in for a test in the new Class N entry-level 2-meter, 70-centimeter, 10-meter license. Unlike in some other countries, in Germany, all license examinations are run by the regulator. The Bundesnetzagentur, or BNetza for short, and places in the first test sessions are limited. On March 20th, the regulator opened the floodgates through an announcement on the social media platform X for applications for the tests to be submitted. The first test will take place in Dortmund on June 24th, the day the new class of license becomes legal. Further tests are scheduled during June in Nuremberg on the 25th and at Ham Radio Friedrichshafen on the 29th. 10 further tests will take place in July at various locations around Germany. Here's to lots of activity from the new hams as soon as they have their licenses, perhaps during Ham Radio Friedrichshafen or soon after when they have bought their new radios at the show. The open source developers of the M17 project have been busy, and they recently announced new releases. We have details from Stefan Kinford, N8WB.
New open-source software, hardware, and UHF-VHF digital voice protocols have been launched by the M17 project with the support of Amateur Radio Digital Communications. Further refinements to the Amateur Radio Digital Communications protocol include a new remote radio unit, or RRU, that is described as a comprehensive UHF-FM/M17 repeater in a box. According to a joint press release from the M17 project and ARDC, the unit is designed to accommodate close antenna placement, producing better and more reliable signal strength. Other improvements include the ability to convert a 9600 baud capable radio into an M17 transceiver through the use of the M17 modem, and an open HT transceiver which uses SDR technology for QRP dual band operation. The March 29th press release announced that an RRU transceiver is also in development with the goal of providing a comprehensive FM/M17 repeater for remote sites or masts. It is expected to feature direct antenna connection that eliminates the need for a long coax. This is Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
If your plans to visit Xenia, Ohio next month for Hamvention include a side trip to the National Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting in nearby Westchester, you'll be pleased to know that the museum will once again have expanded hours. On Thursday, May 16th and Friday, May 17th, you can visit from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m., on Saturday, May 18th from noon to 9 p.m., and on Sunday, May 19th from noon to 5 p.m. Admission is $10. WC8VOA, the ham radio station of the Westchester Amateur Radio Association, will be on the air. Visit WC8VOA.org or VOAmuseum.org for more details. Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including shortwaveradio.de, broadcasting via shortwave from Germany into the UK, Ireland, and Western Europe. Newsline is played at various times throughout the week on 3975 and 6160 kilohertz. Do you know a promising young radio amateur who'd be a good candidate for the Bill Pasternak Memorial Young Ham of the Year Award? Let Newsline know. Candidates must live in the continental United States and be 18 years of age or younger. Tell our judges about your nominee's talent, promise, and commitment to the spirit of ham radio. This is your chance to help honor and acknowledge that person who will, no doubt, go on to teach and inspire others. Find the nomination form on our website, arnewsline.org, under the Awards tab. Nominations close on May 31st. A ham in New York has won a top honor from Radio Amateurs of Canada, and he's the first recipient of this new award. We hear about him from Dave Parks, WB8ODF.
Receiving a top award from the Radio Amateurs of Canada was twice the honor for Stephen Hines into PQJ. He is not only a winner of the Canadian Century Club Award, but the first amateur in the world to receive it. The New York amateur had been chasing stations in Canada for the longest time in hopes of one day qualifying for its Trans-Canada Award. That award was discontinued, however, because its requirements were deemed outdated. For one thing, it failed to recognize the Northern Territory of Nunavut, which became Canada's third territory in 1999. Enter the Canadian Century Club Award, its replacement. To qualify, amateurs need to show evidence of two-way contacts with a minimum of 100 amateur stations in Canada, with between 1 and 20 in each of the 10 provinces and between 1 and 20 in any of the 3 territories. Stephen's achievement is celebrated in the latest issue of Canadian Amateur Magazine, where he's pictured holding the award. Congratulations on your persistence and patience. According to the RAC website, the challenge doesn't end there. The RAC said it's considering the addition of endorsements for 200, 300, or more stations. This is Dave Parks, WB8ODF.
A de-expedition to an environmentally sensitive Pacific island has just received a substantial grant to help with the activation, as we hear from Ralph Scalacci, KK6 ITB.
The Northern California DX Foundation is providing a $75,000 grant to the Dateline DX Association for its Jarvis Island National Wildlife Reserve de-expedition this summer. The N5J team recently announced that the trip received the much-needed go-ahead from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service in Hawaii. Government approval was needed for an activation from this rare entity because it is an environmentally sensitive location. 3 research biologists from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service will accompany the team. The permit was issued recently to the Dateline Group's George, AA7JV, and Don, N1DG. The activation of N5J will be done 2 ways. 4 operators will install 6 radio-in-a-box stations on the island, operating CW, SSB, and FT8 on HF and 6 meters. Radio-in-a-box enables operation remotely from a boat when land access is restricted. 25 other operators from Asia, North America, and Europe will be on the air remotely via satellite using CW and FT8 in Fox and Hound mode. The 13-day D-expedition is tentatively set for the 1st of August and is subject to change depending on the weather. Jarvis Island has not been on the air since 1990. It is part of the Pacific Remote Islands Marine National Monument. This is Ralph Squillaci, KK6ITB.
In the U.S., a federal agency that oversees volunteerism and community service has honored a New Jersey radio amateur for his leadership in regional emergency response. Cell MB KB3TZD has that story.
Congratulations to James Kennedy, K2 PhD, who received a Bronze President's Volunteer Service Award from AmeriCorps, the agency of the U.S. government that promotes community service and volunteerism. James received the award on the 26th of March in recognition of having given 100 hours of assistance to the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA. He serves FEMA Region 2 as a volunteer regional coordinator, meaning he has oversight of activities and response up and down the coast of the state of New Jersey. Apart from his FEMA responsibilities, James serves as Northern New Jersey Areas Section Emergency Coordinator in the ARRL Hudson Division. He is also the manager of the Community Emergency Management Response Team for the Township of Roxbury. Licensed as a ham since 1960, James served during the Cold War era as a U.S. Coast Guard and commercial radio telegraph and signals intercept operator. This is Cell MV, KB3TZD.
In the world of DX, be listening for TEV, TA1HZ, operating holiday style as 8Q7HZ from the Maldives, IOTA number AS013, between the 6th and the 15th of April. He will be using sideband and FT8, FT4 on 30, 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 meters. CQRZ.com for QSL details. Special call sign II1GM is on the air through the 30th of April to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the birth of Guglielmo Marconi. You can hear different operators calling from different call areas, such as II1GM-1, II1GM-2, and so on. CQRZ.com for QSL information. The DARC special event call sign DA24WARD is on the air through to the 30th of April, marking World Amateur Radio Day. CQRZ.com for QSL details. Listen for Tom, K7TLM, and Leslie, KD7YZE, operating as E51TLM from Rarotonga, OC013 in the South Cook Islands, from the 7th through to the 13th of April. They will operate QRP on 10-meter sideband and slow CW. CQRZ.com for QSL details. Radio has a long tradition of hunting, whether it's for a rare DX, a soda summit, or an island. Our final story looks at some of the more unconventional hunts that went on during Easter weekend, hunts that involved anything but Easter eggs. Jim Dameron, N8TMW, has that story.
On Easter weekend, QRP operators in the U.S. Pacific Northwest went hunting. Their quarry was the Sasquatch, the hairy mythical forest creature also known as Bigfoot. On the Friday just before Easter Sunday, the annual Sasquatch Stomp stepped off, organized by the Pacific Northwest QRP Group. Designed for CW operators, the contest's other distinction was its method of scoring. It awarded negative points, and the lowest points determined the winner. Meanwhile, radio enthusiasts throughout Europe were busy hunting too. They tuned their dials in search of radio pirates. The contest was just for fun, as it has always been since it was launched during Easter holiday season in 2016 by a group known as Radioactives of Middle Finland. Jan, one of the organizers, explained to Newsline in an email that the Easter holiday break in Europe gives people the free time to hunt for as many unlicensed broadcast stations as they like. Pirate stations, also known as free radio stations, are popular in much of Europe, and the playful competition brings extra holiday cheer, not to mention good listening. Jan and his friend, Jan Mikhail, keep the rules simple. Participants didn't even need a radio. An online SDR receiver works just fine. With events like these for holiday hunters, who needs Easter eggs? This is Jim Dameron, N8TNW.
Don't forget the Amateur Radio Newsline Haiku Challenge. If you're not too busy tuning your antennas or chasing the latest DXpedition, pick up a pencil and share your experience by sending an original haiku to us here at Newsline. Use the entry form on our website, arnewsline.org, and please follow the rules for writing your 3-line haiku. Sorry, but we cannot accept any entries that aren't written in traditional haiku form. Share with fellow listeners the poetry that is inspired by your ham radio experience. With thanks to Amateur Radio Daily, ARRL, CQ Magazine, David B, RK7DB, DX News, DX World 425, DX News, Fox Channel 19, GNU Radio, Hamside, Jarvis Island DXpedition website, KSDK TV5, National Weather Service, New York Times, QRZ.com, Radioactives of Middle Finland, ShortwaveRadio.de, Sid Caesar, NH7C, TapIntoRoxbury.com, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org. And know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Neil Rapp, W8VPV in Union, Kentucky, saying 7-3. And as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2024. All rights reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 9 minutes.
W8VPV. Repeater.
Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is John, and my call is W03X. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. Wait, we didn't get to the check-ins yet. Hold on there. Okay, so the purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information, to enhance net operating practices, and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by amateur radio Newsline at 8:01. We will start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that is complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time, and confirming each call. Then I'll correspond with those 5 check-ins and ask for 5 more until the activity tapers down. Then I'll go 1 at a time. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been corresponded with, I will close the net after repeating the announcements. I'll give one last call for check-ins after the announcements. We also operate a band exploration net at 9:30 p.m. after this net. Please join us if you have the privileges and equipment. The 9:30 net this evening will be on 10 meters on 28.360 megahertz upper sideband. Okay, let's see. So here are the announcements. The newsletter came out, and it has some announcements in there. One correction, it has that the next meeting will be April 13th, but the meeting is actually April 10th. That's Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., April 10th. And we need to have a quorum because we're going to vote on changes to the bylaws and Constitution. And also, we have a motion for an antenna to be purchased, and we need to revise that motion. Let's see here. So it will be at 7:30 p.m. both in person at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ, 130 Broad Boulevard. Get to the entrance from the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street south of Broad Boulevard. And on Zoom, it also will start at 7:30, and the link will be on the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club website at www.cfarc.org, and click on the right side. There's the listing of activities, and click on the link for the meeting. Again, that's April 10th. This Wednesday, 2 days from today. Okay, and then of course this Saturday, April 13th, is our Hamfest, and we will be setting up the tables Friday evening, starting around 6 p.m. There is a volunteer sign-up sheet if you want to volunteer and haven't signed up yet. That again is on our website. www.cfarc.org. Click on the word Hamfest. Scroll down, and there are two purple bars there. One is for the form for a volunteer. Also at that Hamfest there will be volunteer exam sessions. If you know anybody or you yourself want to take an exam, you have to pre-register for it. It's an ARRL exam, so there's a $15 fee to take the test. And make sure that you have your FRN. And so pre-register for that by going to the link that is on the website there for the Hamfest. There will also be a mobile check-in prize, and so check in through the repeater, 147.27 megahertz repeater, and also the 440 band repeater will be linked probably, and so we will probably end the mobile check-ins around 10 a.m. or so. I'm not sure about that, but and then you have to be present for, to win the prize. That would be chosen by a drawing from the list of mobile check-ins. Okay, that's all that I have in the way of announcements at this time. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club.
Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar.
AC8XO, go ahead, Vince.
Number one, folks, time to think about what you want next month. If you notice, the newsletter was kind of like sparse. It was because nobody supplied anything. I'm the editor, not a reporter. Anyway, in the body of the newsletter, the date for the vote, April 10th, was correct. Yes, I made a mistake in when the meeting was. Other than that, I don't have anything else, John. AC8XO, back to net.
Okay, thanks for that, Vince. You hear that, people? Get your ideas together there for next month's newsletter. Okay, are there any other officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club?
Whiskey 8, Echo Zulu Tango.
W8EZT, go ahead, Frank.
Good evening, John, and everybody out there. Did a great job on the announcements. I do want to add one thing, and it's an important thing. Those of you who have volunteered to help, you'll want to attend this Wednesday's meeting either in person or via Zoom. We're going to be going over about a 20-minute presentation on how the Hamfest works, what's going to be expected of you, what areas we need help with, details about the frequencies we'll use, what HDs or what equipment to bring, so on like that. So if you can possibly attend the meeting either in person or in Zoom, by all means do so. And I guess other than that, that's really about it. The meeting this Wednesday, set up Friday, and of course our Hamfest Saturday. If you're checking in on any other nets, by all means try to get the word out. And finally, I'd be curious to hear people's comments on the eclipse today. That's the first full eclipse I've ever been through, at least that I recognize or remember, and it was quite amazing. You can probably hear those squeaks behind me. Those are the peeper frogs. They woke up and started peeping in the middle of the eclipse and got about 10 peeps in, and the sun came out again. So that was very interesting to see. Anyway, we'll head back to net. I'll be curious. I'm unloading stuff for the Hamfest as we talk about it. And finally, the officers, I need a couple of volunteers tomorrow to load up equipment into my truck for the Hamfest. And we'll have to manually transfer it to my trailer later on. Weather conditions are creating a real issue there. That's all I got, John. Back to you, W8VPV.
Oh, yes, this is Whiskey Victor, Papa Victor. Thanks, Frank, and I sent you an email message about my timing of going to the place to move the stuff for the Hamfest. So we'll see how that goes. Thanks, and yeah, it'll be interesting to hear what the check-ins have to say. On the AriesNet, almost everybody had a little story, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, before are there any other officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club? Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor, Papa Victor. While I was reading the preamble to the net, somebody sounded like they needed to check in. If they are still there, please call at this time. Okay, I don't hear that anymore. So, this is Whiskey 8 Victor, Papa Victor with John, W03X, at the mic, asking for check-ins. I'll take 5 at a time. Give me your call sign and name if I don't know your call sign, and I'll get back to each one of you after the 5. Was that N8NH? Over. Okay, I have you as in and out, so we'll see if anybody with that call sign checks in, then I know that you were somebody else. So thanks for attempting to check in. I have you on the list. This is Whiskey 8 Victor, Papa Victor, asking for check-ins.
BU.
Echo 8 Tango, Quebec Romeo, KE8TQR, Keith in Uniontown.
Okay, I got K8PU, and I got Keith, KE8TQR. I'll get back with both of you in a moment. Are there any other check-ins?
Echo 8, Yankee Tango Golf, Steve from Stowe, in and out.
KE8YTG, Steve in Stowe. I have you in and out. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Are there any other check-ins?
November 8, November Hotel, in and out.
November 8, November Hotel. Was that you earlier?
Negative.
Okay, thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
KE8ULA in Stowe.
KE8ULA. Leo, we'll get back with you in a moment. Let's see, what do we have here? Another check-in, please.
K8YIR, Mark, in and out tonight.
Okay, Mark, KE8YIR, I have you in and out. Another check-in, please.
KVI.
KE8, KVI. Ron, we'll get back with you. Let's see. Okay, we'll go back up to the top here. So that was Larry, K8PU. Go ahead, Larry, with your comments.
John, everybody on the net. Yeah, we had a pretty nice day for the event. I know in the last meeting, you and me and Jim were kind of skeptical of what the weather conditions might be this time in Ohio, but it was pretty good, pretty darn good. I put my swing out in the backyard that I hadn't normally put out that soon, and had an excellent view. We sat there and watched it. My son, W8VPV from New Orleans, went up to Hot Springs, and he had a four-minute view of the whole thing. He sent some pretty nice pictures, so he was happy. And yeah, we were pretty thrilled to go out and enjoy it. The weather was great, good view, and not much more we could hope for, since it's pretty much a once-in-a-lifetime event. So a lot of fun. I hope everybody had enjoyed as much as we did. Real experience. Okay, see you everybody. Well, I'll catch you over on 10, I guess it is, and catch you Wednesday night, John. So back to you, everybody. W8VNR. W8VPV KPU.
Okay, Larry. Yeah, what I did was I went for my walk just when it was starting, and so I went down 23rd Street to Wyandotte to Grant Avenue, and Grant Avenue to State Road, then down State Road and across the High Bridge. And I stopped every 5 minutes or so and checked it with the glasses that I got at the grocery store. They were passing them out today if you shopped there. So those worked very well. And so I went down to Circle Drive and then across Howard Street and Main Street to, let's see, whatever that north-south street is that's parallel to Main Street on the east side of Main Street. And then I came back across the High Bridge, and there were people set up all along the way there, here and there, ready to view the totality. And I got up to about the McDonald's, and that's when it went dark, and the street lights came on State Road, and at that time it was okay to look at it without the glasses, and it was quite interesting, and that I believe is the only one I ever saw in my life, so that's something there. So then I continued on my way, and as soon as there was just a little speck of sun, everything brightened up and the shadows looked normal. So it was almost like a switch, turn the lights right back on. So that's how it looked where I was. So thanks for checking in, Larry, and we'll see you at the meeting. Okay, let's see. So next was Keith, KE8TQR. Go ahead, Keith, with your comments. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
Okay, had to wait for the station identification. W8VPV, this is
KEATQR. Good evening, John, and good evening to everyone else here on the net. Yeah, we had a fine day here at the QTH. The wife and I sat out on the deck, and we watched total eclipse, and I have to say we were both very impressed. I believe the sun and moon put on one spectacular show. I'm very glad that we were able to see that, and it's something that will be unforgettable, I'm sure. And right at the peak of the total eclipse, it got pretty good dark enough anyway, and the neighbor across the street, he decided he was going to let loose with a barrage of wonderful fireworks. So we had the eclipse, we had fireworks, and while I was sitting out there on the deck, I ate a moon pie. I did not have an RC Cola, but I had the moon pie, so that was my celebration for the eclipse. Other than that, a quiet day here at the QTH. Did a little DXing the other night, and made a couple contacts in Poland and Bulgaria. So I know the nets haven't been or the HF hasn't been all that good the last couple of days, but my wire does pretty good on 40, not bad for 100 watts. So with that, I'll send it back to Net Control. Hope everyone has a great evening, a great week, and stay safe out there. This is KE8TQR saying 73, and God bless.
Okay, Keith, very good. Well, congratulations on having that moon pie there during the eclipse. So it sounds like you had a fun time there. So maybe we'll hear you on 10 meters this evening. Okay, so let's see. Next was, let's see, Steve was in and out. N8NH was in and out. So next is Leo, KEA-ULA. Go ahead, Leo, with your comments.
W8VPV, KEA-ULA. Good evening, John, everybody on the net. I'm just outside here today. My wife and I had a chance to sit outside and watch the total solar eclipse from the backyard here, which was amazing. If you ask me, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that in my life, ever. And the weather was so good, I just decided to stay out here and watch the sunset tonight. So I'm out here in the backyard on the HT. The eclipse was really, really something else. With those glasses, able to watch the progress of the moon covering up the sun like that was really something to see. And then when it got dark, my dog started acting all crazy. I don't know if it was because of everybody in the neighborhood was cheering so loudly, or if it was because it got dark in the middle of the afternoon, and he knew something wasn't right. But the real kicker was being able to, at total eclipse, being able to see the atmosphere around the sun like that. That was really something else. Like I said, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before in my life. I'm just out here right now, just enjoyed the sunset, and with that, KE8-ULA, back to the net.
Okay, Leo, very good. Yes, let's see, as I was walking back towards home after the total eclipse, I noticed that the birds were acting like it was another morning. so they got to have an extra morning today. So that worked out well for them. Okay. Let's see. So let's KEAYIR. Mark was in and out. So that takes us to Ron, KE8KVI. Go ahead, Ron, with your comments. This is Whiskey 8 Victor, Papa Victor.
This is KE8KVI. Good evening to you and everybody out there in radio land. As with everybody else, I spent most of the day preparing for the eclipse and then watching the eclipse and then recovering from it afterward. I was a little worried because when I checked the weather earlier this week, like Wednesday, it was supposed to be cloudy and rainy at 3 p.m. today. Then yesterday it was going to be cloudy but may not be raining, and then this morning it was going to be mostly cloudy. Fortunately, it wound up pretty clear. And through the whole thing, my dogs just laid in the yard and ignored it.
Repeater.
Well, that's good. That sounds funny. That's good that the dog just ignored it. Very good. Thanks, Ron, for checking in 73, and have a good evening. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John W3X at the mic asking for check-ins.
This is King Frank 8, Alpha November Ocean. It's Jim, Merriman Valley, a new member.
What was the second letter of your call sign?
K King F Frank 8, Alpha November Ocean.
Oh, okay. Congratulations on that call sign there. We'll get back with you in a moment. Another check-in, please.
Play November.
Okay, I had KA8WTK, and then was the next one WA8RCN?
Yepper, that's me.
Okay, Jim, we'll get back with you in a moment. Let's see, how many do we have there? Okay, another check-in, please.
Kilo Charlie 8, Lima India November. Jason for check-in, please.
Good evening, Jason. We'll get back with you in a moment. And one more.
Kilo Echo 8, Zulu Papa X-Ray.
KE8ZPX. We'll get back with you in a moment. So let's go up to KF8ONO. Go ahead with your comments.
It's KF8 Alpha November Ocean, and I'm just checking in and out. Have a nice night.
Okay, I have that corrected. KF8ANO. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, that takes us to Bill, KA8WTK.
W8VPV in the net, KA8WTK. Good evening, John, and everybody else. Like everybody else, wife and I sat out in the backyard and watched the solar eclipse, and it was pretty interesting. It's the first time I've had glasses to look at an eclipse. I've seen partials before with, but using like welding glasses, which you're not supposed to use, arc welding type hoods, which you're not supposed to use. But we had regular glasses this time, and it was kind of interesting to see the way that the colors sort of changed as it became headed for totality, and the birds got quiet and left the feeders and set up in the trees, and then started singing again as soon as the sun came back out. I tried to take some pictures with my tablet and my phone by time. They wouldn't focus through a pair of the glasses. I tried to hold them over the camera, and they just wouldn't focus. So I settled for attempting to take some pictures at totality with my Nikon camera, and one of those came out pretty decent. So I was rather pleased, and it was a good time to sit there and chat with the wife and watch the eclipse and drink solar eclipse beer. So it was great. Can't wait for the next one. Probably won't be around for it, but I can't wait for it. Back to that. W8VPV, KA8WTK.
Yeah, very good, Bill. Yeah, my neighbor was saying somebody else will have to watch the next one, but there might be another one in some other part of the world during our lifetime. Who knows? So that might be something to look up. So thanks for checking in there, Bill. Sounds like you had fun, and the birds in your area had fun too, like the ones that I saw as I was returning to my house. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, let's see, who was next? Let's see. Okay, Jim, WA8RCN. Go ahead, Jim, with your comments.
John, say hi to you, W03X at W8VPV and the net, W8RCN. Yeah, real good. And we did about the same things everybody else. Did a lot of yard work, and then the eclipse came and watched that for a while, and then back to the yard work till it got dark here. We came in a little while ago and thought we'd try and get the net here before the shower. So it's a good day, and like Frank, it was kind of weird. It's like as soon as it got dark, a bazillion spring peepers started. I got a bazillion in the back there, so loud, so sometimes it's almost deafening, to sit out there and hear them. And then as soon as the sun came back, they all shut up again. So it's kind of a cool phenomena there. All right, throw it back to you, and doing a good job with the net. W8VPV, W8RCN.
Okay, Jim, very good. Yeah, sounds like fun there. So 73, and have a good evening. So next was Jason, KC8LIN. Go ahead, Jason, with your comments. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
Yeah, thank you, John, and good evening to everyone on the net. Yeah, just like everyone else, looking up at the solar eclipse. Yeah, myself and a few other local hams headed out to a tower site near Clarksfield, out there just past Wellington, a little bit west of Wellington. And traffic was not a problem. There was no one around. And watched the solar eclipse and then came home. And that's pretty much been the entire day. It's about maybe an hour drive there, and took kind of the back ways home, so a little longer coming home. One interesting thing to note, temperature changes. Colors tend to take on a different hue immediately before and after totality. If you were to have taken and put a push pin through a piece of paper and looked at the shadow would actually have shown what was going on with the sun. So I took a piece of paper and I kind of punched in it our name and the date, and then took a picture of it when it was about half totality, or not during totality, but about halfway approaching totality. So the sun was essentially a crescent, and all the shadows of our sign were all crescents. That's kind of a cool thing to do. Back to net. Catch you guys later. KC8LIN.
Yeah, that sounds like fun, Jason. Yeah, very good. It's good you came back by a back road. I saw on the news, I don't know why, but eastbound on the turnpike, it was only 14 miles an hour for some reason. And on Interstate 76 eastbound, near here, which would have been as you got close to your home there, that it was only 2 miles an hour. So somebody crashed or whatever, and caused a problem. I'm not on 76. I don't know. They really didn't give an explanation about why the slowdown was on the turnpike. So maybe it was a bunch of people coming out of a rest area or something, and caused a jam there. So thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, next was KE8ZPX. Go ahead with your comments. This is John, W03X, at the mic for the Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor net.
myself today, like everybody else. Burger and a beer and a big show. Kind of looking forward to the Hamfest this weekend. Probably see most of you on the meeting on Wednesday. But that was pretty much the day, was the big show. Back to net.
Okay, Jesse, very good. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Sounds like you had fun there. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
Echo 8 Victor Quebec X-ray KE8 VQX Joe in Akron.
Okay, there was a pile up there, but I got KE8VQX, and there was somebody that started before Joe there. Please come back.
Kilo Bravo India, Bill, Summit County.
Oh, K8BI. Okay, Bill, I got you. Another check-in, please. Okay, we'll go up to Joe here. KE8VQX. Go ahead, Joe, with your comments.
W8VPV, this is KE8VQX. Hello, John, and everyone else on the net. Haven't been here in a while. Glad to be here. Had some out-of-town guests for the eclipse. That was pretty cool. And like some other people said, the birds, like the evening birds before it got dark, and then the morning birds right after it got light again. That was pretty cool. Anyway, hope everyone has a nice night, and I'll let you get some more folks. So this is KE8VQX back in net control.
Okay, Joe, very good. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Yeah, I saw the birds doing their evening and then morning activities. So thanks for checking in. Okay, next was Bill, K8BI. Go ahead, Bill, with your comments.
Well, good evening, everybody. Good to hear everyone. I guess I could say I did pretty much what everyone else was doing today. No surprise there. It was a nice show. One thing I can add is I was kind of surprised. I had to run a couple errands not long after the event was over, and traffic wasn't that bad, at least on the side streets, and I had to drive over Route 8, and it was pretty much normal. So I guess the big artery routes like the Turnpike and 76 were kind of clogged up from what you said, John. But anyways, it turned out to be a great day. Everyone have a great week coming up. W8VPV, K8BI.
Okay, Bill, thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, that takes us to the bottom of the list. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John W03X at the mic asking for check-ins. I'll take you one at a time now.
WB8CXO.
Hamfest this Saturday.
W8VPV. Repeater.
Okay, I got Chris N8ACP, and I didn't get the call sign of who said at the Hamfest Saturday. Go ahead with your call sign, and we'll get back with you in a moment.
That was an automated announcement, John, K8BI.
Oh, okay. Huh. That I never heard that announcement before. Thanks, Bill. Okay, so we'll go to Chris, N8ACP. Go ahead, Chris, with your comments.
Good evening there, John, and all on the net. Let's see. Yeah, we watched the eclipse. What a beautiful day outside today in general, first of all. And yeah, that was quite the show. I did not expect it to get as dark as it did during totality, so that was kind of neat. Probably never see that again in our lifetime. The one thing I thought was interesting is the last time that I saw an eclipse, I was actually on a project. I think it was like back in like 2014 or 2017, and there were some tree branches that were in the way. I was actually at work on a roof, and you could see all the little crescents, through the tree branches where the branches occluded it. I didn't see that this time around, but it got way darker than it did before. So we had front row seats, and again, kind of nice to see. And it looked like a lot of people were out here on Cadillac Hill to witness that. So yeah, so nice and warm. Anyways, that's all the news from me. Cheers at 73, Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor from November 8 Alpha Charlie Papa.
Yeah, very good, Chris. Yes, like I mentioned, I was out for a walk during that, and there were some people set up on the high bridge there between Akron and Cuyahoga Falls, and there were some on the little hillside there where there used to be a ramp that went from Howard Street northbound and went under Main Street and then curved around and got back on to Main Street right by the high bridge. So they were gathered there and various other places around the area, and then of course all along the businesses along State Road there in Cuyahoga Falls. So yeah, it was a fun time there. So thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
Kilo Foxtrot 8 Golf.
KFHE, Brian, go ahead.
Good evening. I kind of rolled over and heard the net going. I figured it was getting towards the end of it. Yeah, the eclipse was a lot of fun today. I watched from my house. I wasn't venturing anywhere, so that was it. That was a lot of fun. I had the goggles and everything, and I actually had several pairs of them. It's cheaper to buy 5 of them than to buy one, so I bought a handful of them. And I put them in a Ziploc bag, and I'm saving them for later, because I do remember we had something back when I was living in Warren. We had a slight eclipse. It wasn't as good as today's, but it was a lot of fun to watch. But, well, other than that, I am looking forward to the Hamfest. I will see everybody Saturday. My buddy Dell at OFP. So, we're going to turn it back to the net. Good evening, John. KFHG.
Okay, Brian, very good. Sounds like you had fun there. So thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
WB8CXO.
WB8CXO, go ahead with your comments.
Thank you, John. Good evening. Thanks for running the net tonight. Good evening to everybody that's on here. We had a good time today watching the eclipse. We also traveled to the antenna site at Clarksfield with Jason, KC8LIN, and his family. Ted, KB8PRK, rode along with me and did all the navigating. And my old friend Tim, WB8HF, showed up. And we had a great time. We got there early, so I broke out the drones and terrorized the site with drones. And then we got down to watching it. This was my second eclipse. We traveled to Tennessee back in 2017 to watch it. And all I could think of when it was over back in 2017 is I wanted to see it again, so we were lucky to catch it locally and enjoyed it thoroughly. It's just fantastic. and it was fun to watch it with friends. So if you're so inclined, and if you're a world traveler, the next solar eclipse is on August 12th, 2026, but you'll have to go to northern Spain to watch it, or northeast Greenland, or northern Siberia. That's the path of totality for the next total solar eclipse, August 12th, 2026. And there's one almost every year, but you'll have to travel to see them. That's all we got. 7-3 to all. Have a great week. WB at CXO.
Okay, Mike. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, very good. August 12th, 2026. So there you go, people. There's another one happening within your lifetime there. So very good. Thanks, Mike. And 73, have a good evening. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins.
Check, John, W8VPV.
Go ahead, Frank.
Just a quick follow-up. I think Chris mentioned seeing crescents through the leaves. I saw that effect back in the 80s with an eclipse. It was quite remarkable. Wherever sunlight gets through, it forms a little pinhole camera and focuses the image on the ground around you. And of course, that's what Jason took advantage of by putting pinholes in the paper. Wish I had thought of that. I would have done the same thing. But it was interesting. I was alone here at my house working on Hamfest-related issues, but put a chair out and sat out in the driveway. The yard was literally too wet. It would have sunk in. Sat out in the driveway for a few minutes just before totality, through totality, and a few minutes after. And it was amazing that last few seconds as the crescent winked out and blackness overpassed us, there were 3 or 4 other groups in the area that were having a get-together. Sorry about that. This radio's got a transmit timer. Several other groups that were watching it and having eclipse parties. I could hear them shouting and commenting, and then everything got quiet for about 2 minutes as people were looking around and realizing what was going on and just absorbing it. And then as the sun started to reappear again, more shouts and cheers and everything, and that was about it. So, great time. All right, that's all I got. Back to net, W8VPV.
Okay, Frank, very good. Yeah, I have one of those HTs that has a transmit timer also. Yeah, and it just stops when it's timed out. So thanks. Sounds like you had fun there, Frank, and sounds like the neighbors did too. Very good. Fun time was had by all. Okay, very good. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. Okay, I don't hear any, so I'll repeat the announcements. This Wednesday, that's the day after tomorrow, August 10th, 7:30 p.m., is our meeting, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club meeting, and we need to have a quorum to vote on a couple of items. So you can vote if you're online on Zoom or in person. So please try to attend, and so we can take a vote on those items. And so the meeting starts at 7:30 p.m. this Wednesday on Zoom, and in person it's at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ. Get to the meeting by going from the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street just south of Broad Boulevard. Again, that's the Pilgrim United Church of Christ. It's the white building there with a white steeple. Let's see, and then Friday, April 12th, we'll be setting up the tables at the Emidio Party Center for the Hamfest. If you're a volunteer there and you happen to see an item that one of the vendors is coming in is going to be selling, and you think you'd like it, maybe make the person an offer and see what happens. That's an advantage to being a volunteer there on Friday evening. They'll be coming in around 7 p.m. We'll be starting around 6, setting up the tables. Let's see, and then Saturday morning on the 13th, we'll have volunteers. We need some volunteers to help guide the vendors to their tables, and we need some at the doors, and we need some for announcing and for running the mobile check-in station, which we have at least one volunteer for the mobile check-in station, but it's nice to be able to give that person a break. So if you want to volunteer, go to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club website at www.cfarc.org and click on the word Hamfest up the top, and it will take you to a page where you scroll down and there are 2 purple bars. One of them is for the volunteer sign up. So take a look at that if you can help out either Friday evening or Saturday. Now for Friday evening, you don't have to be lifting tables and things like that. You can also help just guide vendors to their tables and other non-lifting activities. Let's see. So that's all that I have in the way of announcements. Let's see. Yeah, that's all that I have in the way of announcements for immediate future. So with that, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John W3X at the mic. Last call for check-ins.
November 8 Whiskey Sugar, Bill in New London.
NAWS Weather Service. Go ahead, Bill, with your comments.
Yeah, NAWS. Good evening, John. My radio was scanning and it stopped on your frequency here, so I thought I'd try to check in and say hello. It's been quite a while since we've been able to talk. Hopefully I'll get back to 6 meters here pretty quick. We'll see what happens in the next week or so. Anyway, there's a lot going on. Beautiful day today. Exceptionally good solar eclipse, and we enjoyed it very much today with my son and his wife, and my wife and I. And I hope everybody else had as much enjoyment out of it as we did. So I'll let you go. Back to you. This is NAWS 73, everyone.
Yeah, very good, Bill. Are you checking in from your home?
Yes, I am. I'm running about 65 watts, and I got 11 element beam at about 30 feet.
Oh, okay. How are you hearing your repeater? How does it sound out there?
The repeater's about mid-scale on this 2980. So it's doing a good job.
Okay, thanks for the report there. Very good, Bill. So thanks for checking in. 73, have a good evening. And let's see, I'll be net control on April 14th for the N8XPK 6-meter multi-state net. So you might be set up by then, I don't know. We'll see. So I'll probably hear you tomorrow or maybe not on the Silver Creek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday night 2-meter net. We'll, so very good, 73. Have a good evening, Bill. Okay, last call for check-ins for the Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor VHF UHF net.
Quick recheck, John, W8EZT.
Go ahead, Frank.
Where was Bill located? It sounded like he was using quite a bit of power and antenna to get into our repeater. I'm just curious where he was located.
I think he's near Wakeman.
I have to go look that one up on the map. All right, thanks. Appreciate that. Back to net, W8EZT.
It's like up toward Vermilion.
Oh, okay. Way up in the northeast corner of the state then. Very good. W8EZT, back to net.
WS, NAWS.
Go ahead, Bill.
Hey, John, actually, I live in New London Township, which is 10 miles from Wakeman. We're about 20 miles in from Vermilion on the lake. Almost directly due south, a little bit more west of that. The center of New London is Route 60 and 162. So you can check that out there. You can go to QRZ.com, look up my call NAWS. It should give you the amount of miles from you. Okay, back to you, John. NAWS 73.
I'll do that right now, Bill. Thanks. Net standby. Okay, Frank, W8EZT. He is 45.3 miles from me. So let me look at the map and see what direction.
Thanks, John. That's all right. You've got another net coming up here in less than 2 minutes. I'll let you go. But that's quite a haul. Very good. Good hearing him in there, and hope I get a chance to work in when it's my night to do the net. Back to net, W8EZT.
Okay, Frank. Yeah, very good. Oh, yeah, that time is moving on quickly here. Okay, so last call for check-in is for the Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor VHF UHF net. Okay, well, nothing heard, so in preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been John and my calls W03X, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net with 22 check-ins counting myself and return the repeater to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor closing the net at 9:30 p.m. local time. 7-3.
Yeah, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. We're just starting the net. NH, go ahead. Okay, let's see here. Good evening, calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night band exploration net. My name is John and my call is W8VPV. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This band exploration net meets every Monday evening at 9:30 p.m. local time, preceded by the VHF-UHF net at 8:30 and amateur radio Newsline at 8:01. Now we're on a different frequency each Monday. Go to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club calendar at www.cfarc.org to see what the frequency of the band exploration net will be. Now this evening we're on 28.360 megahertz upper sideband. Okay, let's see. So when checking in, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. Also let me know if you have any comments or traffic for the net. I will start with announcements and then call for officers or members who have items of special interest to the club. After that, I will call for check-ins. And let's see, so here are the announcements. The next regular meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club will be this Wednesday. That's Wednesday, August 10th at 7:30 p.m. We need a quorum for a couple of items to vote on, and please try to attend as we need members to vote on this. So again, the meeting starts at 7:30 p.m. In person, it's at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ in Cuyahoga Falls. Has the address of 130 Broad Boulevard, but you get to the meeting by entering from the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street just south of Broad Boulevard. The link for Zoom will be on the calendar at www.cfarc.org. On the right side of the page, scroll down and you will see the link for the Zoom meeting. Then on April 12th, meeting around 6 p.m. At the Medio Party Center, we will be setting up the tables for the Ham Fest. And the advantage to being there at that time is at 7 p.m. the vendors start coming in, and as we are showing them to their okay, I'm not sure what's going on here, but the power looked like it went down out of the transmitter here, but it's doing okay now. Okay, so the advantage is that you may see an item that you're interested in and make the seller an offer, and maybe you can get it at before the big crowds on Saturday. Then, we have a volunteer sign-up on the website, www.cfarc.org. Up the top is the word Hamfest. Click on that, and it takes you to a page where there are two purple bars. Click on the one for volunteer sign-up, and fill out the form and let us know when you can help out. Both Friday evening and Saturday morning. There will be mobile check-ins, and usually we take check-ins to about 10 a.m. or so on that, and then there'll be a mobile check-in prize that you have to be there you have to be present to win the prize. Let's see, that's all that I have in the way of announcements at this time. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins, and I heard N8NH. Go ahead, N8NH. Okay, well, I have him checked in, and I think he wanted to be in and out, so I have him marked as in and out. So another check-in, please.
KA8WTK.
KA8WTK. Can you hear me okay, Bill? Is my signal strong enough?
Yeah, it's strong enough. You seem kind of down tonight, though. I don't know if you're on a different antenna or what.
Am I better on this antenna?
Perhaps a little.
How about this one for your direction?
I don't really see much of a difference on the scope, and don't hear that much of a difference. I think it's just the fact the hills between us.
Okay, well, I'll try this for right now. So, how you doing there, Bill, since the VHF-UHF net?
Oh, pretty good. Just wanted to add one more thing about my observations today. We could see the planet Venus down below the sun when we were at totality, but couldn't see Jupiter or that, and the comet didn't show up in any of my attempts at a photograph either. Here it was kind of very high overcast, so we never got to see the stars. It should have been if we had really good atmospheric conditions, no clouds, you'd not only got totality, but the stars would have come out. And like I say, we could see the planet Venus because it's very, very bright, but we couldn't see anything else in the sky. I just wondered if anybody else saw the planets as well. So back to net, W8VPV, KA8WTK.
Oh, okay, Bill. No, I didn't see any planets. Yeah, the high thin clouds, were lit up slightly. Like where I was, it wasn't totally dark. It was dark enough for the street lights to come on, but it wasn't real dark like it would be at night with no street lights.
Yeah, my son has been in total eclipses out in the desert on the west coast, and it'll get dark, and without the high clouds like we had, the stars will all come out. It'll really look like night, which it wasn't quite this time. KA8WTK.
Yeah, very good, Bill. Yeah, that sounds interesting there. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, are there any other check-ins for the Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor Band Exploration Net?
Kilo Echo 8 Yankee Tango Golf, Stephen Stowe, in and out.
KE8Y have you in and out. Thanks for checking in. 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please. KE8TQR, I switched antennas there. Can you hear me better? Good evening, Keith. What's going on there since the VHF-UHF net? Okay, Chief, thanks. And let's see, I see you're a volunteer for the Hamfest. I forget if it's which day, but I'll see you then at the Hamfest. So 73, have a good evening, and I'll see you at the Hamfest. Very good. Okay, another check-in, please. This is Whiskey 8 Victor, Papa Victor, asking for check-in.
K8PU.
K8PU. Go ahead, Larry. You have a hum on your signal there.
Oh, I'll try not to hum so loud. I have no idea. I'm not hearing any on my audio, so I don't think it's my anything in my power supply. Oh well, I'll keep it brief. Just back to the event this afternoon. It was pretty much all it was hyped up to be, and like I say, we went out in the backyard, put the swing up, and then Linda and I gate LV, and we enjoyed it, and took it all in, and quite an experience. Very nice. We enjoyed every minute of it, and not much more to say beyond that. It was worth the effort, worth doing, and never going to see another one in my lifetime, I don't believe, so had to make the best of that. But anyways, like everybody said, it was fun. Temperature cooling down, birds and things getting quiet, and the whole thing. It was really neat. Okay, John, catch everybody Wednesday evening, and we'll get back to real life here. W8VPV, KPU.
Yeah, thanks, Larry. Mike, WB8CXO mentioned that August 12th, 2026, there's going to be another total eclipse, and you can see it in Spain, in Greenland, and in Siberia there. So take your choice there of which place you want to go to there. That's August 12th, 2026. So mark that on your calendar there. And maybe start making arrangements now, you know. Over?
Yeah, I'll see if I can figure out a way to see it on DX. Okay, John, back to you. See you Wednesday. Kate to you.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan there. 73, have a good evening. Okay, let's see. So this is Whiskey 8, Victor, Papa Victor, asking for check-in. W8 EZT, go ahead, Frank.
I don't have a lot to add from earlier. Just a very interesting day. As I said, this is the first time I have been in a total eclipse. I've been through several partial eclipses, but the effect was really remarkable, and it was well worth taking the time out of the day to watch and everything. Yeah, birds were acting differently. The peepers started peeping, and you could hear people hooting and hollering in the distance from at least 3 different locations around me. So definitely there were some eclipse parties in the air. And when the sun started to return, more hooting and hollering, and then got real quiet, and suddenly the traffic picked up. So that's about all I've got, John. We'll see you Wednesday at the meeting, and hopefully tomorrow I'm going to check email here. Just got into the computer and find out if it's going to be a go or not. and we'll see what happens. Back to net, W8VPV.
Yeah, very good, Frank. Well, what I wrote was that I will know by about 10:30 in the morning if I can be there at 12, and by 10:30 I'll know whether I can be or not. And so if I can't be there at 12, I can be there by 1 for sure. Over.
All right, that'll work, John. I just picked 12 because it looked like there was going to be increasing chances of rain as the day progressed. I've got a retiree breakfast tomorrow morning. It'll go till probably around 11 or so, and 12 will give me a chance to get my truck cleared out. But yeah, shoot me a text or give me a call and let me know, or email anything. Any of the above is fine, and we'll get the stuff out of there. And then I need to manhandle it into the back of my trailer, walking it across a wet yard. And I will pull the trailer out once, probably Friday, to finish loading stuff at my storage unit, and then head directly to the Hamfest. And I don't know. In fact, I do know I will need help putting the trailer back in my driveway, and still need to get signs put out. So it's going to be an interesting day. All right, John, thanks a lot. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Back to you, W8VPV.
Okay, Frank, very good. So thanks for checking in, and have fun there. We'll probably see you tomorrow there sometime. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins. Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins. Okay, I'll repeat the announcements, and then I'll give one last call for check-in. Okay, so this Wednesday we need members either in person or on Zoom so that we have a quorum to vote on a few issues here. And so that's Wednesday, Wednesday, April 10th at 7:30 p.m. either in person or on Zoom. So in person, it's at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ, which has an address of 130 Broad Boulevard, but you get to the meeting from the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street, just south of Broad Boulevard. And then on Zoom, go to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club website at www.cfarc.org, and on the right side is the calendar, and scroll to April 10th, and there will be the link for the Zoom version. So click on that and join the meeting. And let's see here. Let's see. Then April 12th, that's for Friday, so we'll meet around 6 p.m. over at the Medio Party Center to set up the tables. And then around 7 p.m., the vendors start coming in. So besides working with tables and chairs, there's some light duty activities, such as placing the vendor's identifier on the table. It's a piece of paper, so somebody needs to do that. We have maps that we'll have posted in various places in the area for inside the building there to tell where the tables go and where the vendors go. So like I said, they'll start coming in around 7 p.m. And the advantage of being there for that time is that if you spot something that some vendor is bringing in, make the person an offer, and maybe you can get the item before the the big rush on Saturday there. So take a look and keep your eye open for something like that. And then let's see, and we need somebody to help set up the road direction signs. We set them up Friday evening after the table session there, so let us know on the volunteer sign up if you can help with setting out those road direction signs. Frank W8VPV can give instructions, detailed instructions for that. Then Saturday morning, starting around 6 a.m., we need people to help with guiding vendors in, like we did Friday evening. And we also need volunteers to be at the doors that aren't the ticket sales doors to keep people from coming in, people that don't have tickets. So we will have a food supplier there, Sassy Dog. She will be set up by the northeast corner of the building, and people can go in and out of that door to access Sassy Dog. So we need somebody at that door to verify that the person has a ticket when they're coming back in. Let's see, so go to the volunteer sign-up sheet by going to www.cfarc, click on the word Hamfest up the top, scroll down, and you will see a purple bar signing up for a volunteer. Now, if you know somebody that wants to take an amateur radio license test, let them know, and we will be having a couple of test sessions there at the Hamfest. So go to our website, www.cfarc, and let's see here, if you let's see, let me check that out here. To sign up, you have to pre-register for the test. Okay, so go to our website, www.cfarc.org, and let's see, click on education, and let's see about register for a license exam, and there is, it says please register at least 24 hours before the exam. So click on a video, and that's how you can register for an exam. So make sure that you have your FRN, and there's a $15 fee at the test site. This is an ARRL test, so it has a $15 fee in addition to the $35 FCC fee if that is required for what you are doing there. So that's how you can, so if you know somebody that wants to test, let them know about this. You go to www.cfarc, click on the word education, scroll down a little bit, there's a big yellow button there that says register for an exam, and there's the schedule of exams for the year. Click on the one that says Emidio for the location and directions. And it has 13 April Saturday. That is the... So with that, that's all I have. And that's it. Hey, Victor, Papa Victor, last call for...
Hey, John, just so you know, W8VPV here, just so you know, you're breaking up pretty bad. It sounds like maybe a bad microphone cable or something. You'll just drop right out for part of a syllable and then pop back in. Just wanted to let you know, W8VPV.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I noticed earlier that I wasn't getting any power. Let's see. Let me jiggle these connectors here a little bit.
You're sounding great that last time around.
Okay. I did a little bit of re-racking. How's this sounding here? I heard you say it was good.
Yeah, it continues to be good now. Whatever it is, you probably caught it. W8VPV back to net.
Okay, very good. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-in. Okay, well, not hearing any. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. As mentioned earlier, this band exploration net meets every Monday evening at 9:30 p.m. Next week, the frequency will be on 40 meters on or about 7.187 megahertz. Plus or minus QRM. Let's see, there may be, let's see. Yeah, there are 5 Mondays this month, so we will probably be on 17 meters on April 29th. So watch out, keep a watch for that for April 29th. Probably be on 18.187 megahertz or so for April 29th. Okay, so next week the frequency will be, like I said, on 40 meters on or about 7.187 megahertz. Please feel free to check in regularly, even if only for a moment. All comments are welcomed and valuable to us. This has been John, and my call is W8VPV, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net and return the frequency to normal, customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor closing the net at 9:59 p.m. local time with 7 check-ins counting myself. 7-3.
I think it's Nick, K8SLG. This is Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo, also with K88EPC for ID.
Yeah, I talked all over you there for the first 40 seconds there, Phil. So I don't know what got through or what didn't, so I'm just going to toss it to Dustin. K88EPC, go.
All right, thank you, Nick. Yeah, that first 40 seconds you guys were doubling, and I didn't really hear much of what either of you said, but then I caught the rest of what Phil said there. And Thursdays are always pretty good for me for the most part. I don't usually have much going on Thursdays. Wednesdays, like Nick said, are kind of rough because of the we do our nets there on Wednesdays and like our rest in between. But yeah, if we could pick a Thursday there sometime to go up there, grab a bite to eat, go check out some DX engineering, all would be well in the world there with that. They should have individual cables, one for a Yaesu and then a different cable for the ICOM. I don't know if they're different cartridges in the mics, but I know they have different cables for sure. So that's the story with that. Boy, I had another thought that this train of thought derailed though. So K88EPC back to K88SLG.
Me? Did you give it back to me? All right, man. Yeah, Thursday's what I said too. That would probably be the best option there. That's when I have the most free time during the day. And, oh man, Phil will get to meet Stadler and Waldorf, as I like to call them. Those are the old guys that hang out in the balcony and the Muppets and razz everybody. And that's what the guys at DX Engineering are like. Over to you, Phil.
W8WKY.
Very well, Nick. Gee whiz. Last I was talking to someone at DX was Troy, and we had a long, wonderful conversation on a technical level, and the boy is sharp on the appliances that he has, and there's a few things about the appliances that was sent, and I'm bringing them all back because it's not quite what I think is necessary, or shall I say, will work, because certain things don't add up to interface the headset to the radios. So that being said, should pretty much stimulate good thoughts in your mind that yes, there are little pigtails of some kind that have funny little adapters or pin connectors or something that snaps in, pressure fits in, something to the headset, and I see where the switch goes and all that neat stuff. The headset is very comfortable, but I don't like comfortable without hearing any A1A. Therefore, bring everything up there and get things squared away before I walk back out the threshold of the door. I'm not going up there for nothing, driving all that way for just to say hello. But I do want to meet some of the people that you guys talked with and develop some sort of a client to a professional relationship. And since we don't have much anything else that's either reasonably competitive and also not close at hand, this is probably my best bet as well. So maybe a bit pricey, but they won't turn their back on you, from what I understand. So with that, back over to K88SLG, and I guess Mr. Dustin will be up to bat. W8V3K.
Why does it keep coming back to me? The guys at DX, they love to hate me. They've told me to my face that I'm an appliance operator, and I am an appliance operator, and I'm okay with that. I can make it work. I just don't understand how it works. Dustin, save me.
I'm coughing. Skip me.
You're more than an appliance operator, Mr. Nick, I'm telling you what, the things you do and have helped so many, you're not just an appliance operator. You could be a good technical advisor. And on some of this digital stuff, oh my goodness, the things that I just realized I have to get into with the books I bought from Troy. Oh my goodness gracious, I'm kind of wondering if I'm not going to get burned out by the time I finish those books.
What books did you get, Phil?
Well, let me go get them since I didn't feel comfortable sitting beside them. So just hold on your horses.
I think we just quipped over each other, Dustin. Probably. I said I don't know nothing about horses, but Nick wants a pony.
Okay, let's get back in the corral.
Is it the OK corral?
Ay. Could we settle for trying to keep things a little comfortable this evening? Anyway, I'm just playing with you. The first one that I requested, I wanted to get a brand new repeater directory for 2024, and a lot of changes in here, a lot of new repeaters, a lot of new basically faces with all the names and call signs and stuff. So I'm looking forward to start highlighting and going through this. And a more involved one that's kind of fundamental, I would suppose, is Digital Modes for All Occasions by Murray Greenman. And Troy told me to take some time to go through this. And I can tell you from what I see, a lot of stuff is not foreign to me, but there are some protocols that obviously I have had not any experience with working with. And I mean, I have spread spectrum technology and DAC and EDAC and other sorts for 800, 900 megs, but we're going into other types of frequencies and types of hopping frequencies and things that I'm not equipped with. And besides, speaking of equipment, we're talking about nodes, we're talking about handoffs with little computers like your Raspberry Pi, and then have your interpolator and radio unit to send off all this wonderful static so people can unstatic it and make it work. I know that don't sound real professional, but forgive me because I'm an RF kind of guy, and it always has been that way, and I have a feeling that if I get pushed too hard, I'm going to be nothing but RF, and probably more lonely because of it, because it's so fun to be there by yourself, and you got to be on digital, and here you can't work it, and they're getting too many loopholes about security issues that they're making things a lot harder to be able to get there. And I'm still in that little rut. So there you have it. Back to KD8EPC and KD8SLG.
Oh, right there, Phil. Well, I'm not sure exactly what digital modes it is you're trying to do. I still do most of my communications over RF. The only thing I really do that isn't over RF is the border breaker net. And I still come in through the 3.9, and then that's linked via the All-Star to Oklahoma. But like when me and Nick talk on D-Star to each other, we're usually on RF, talking back and forth on simplex, just on that radio. But if you want to play D-Star, you have to buy an ICOM that does it, a 5100 and 7100. There's a few other ones too, but I'm running a 5100 here. I think Nick is too, and they're great radios. I really like mine for that. So
So it's still on RF, and it still does analog, but it does the D-Star mode too. As far as other digital modes go, I know nothing about the Yaesu digital mode, and I don't like DMR myself. I think it's complicated and it sounds bad. But there's all kinds of digital modes. Now there's M17. I don't know much about that either, so I can't love or hate it yet. So there you go. But instead of blabbering unintelligibly, I'm going to pass it over to KD8SLG from KD8VPC.
KD8SLG returning. Yeah, Phil, it's still RF. It's just a different mode of RF. You know, C4FM is whatever it is. It's just packets. Take them apart, put them back together. It's just voice instead of information. And same with D-Star. You know, we simplex digital all the time. Actually, simplex digital as much as anything else. And you know, it's grown to the point where even like Echolink and All-Star are for the most part just considered analog modes because they start out as analog and they come out as analog, as opposed to a C4FM or a D-Star where it goes into digital and comes out digital on both ends. So, you know, it's all RF.
W8WKY.
Copy. Yes, I do know it requires RF to make the delivery. The thing is that I don't have the equipment to work the digital criteria for you know, detection and reassembly to have an intelligible signal to work with. The radios I have are, as you know, with the exception of the 991, it has fusion, and I haven't been on that at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the books with me, Nick, and as well, and if any notes or anything need to be marked on it, maybe that could be helpful. Maybe you could bring one of the couple of radios that I have that maybe I can get some help over there at the store to try to get the numbers before the 29th. I understand that there's Coors has got this thing where they're I'm not going to say anything is wrong with it. I'm going to say they're making it a bit more stringent, prefaced on the security measures necessary to keep some really bad people out. So, that said, national security is important when it comes to communications, and I wish we had this level of quality of comm during the time when I was in, but we didn't. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I'm going to bring my the Pro 7 as well. I want to make sure that I have all the proper adapters and stuff, and Troy can get me set up, or whoever it is that you know up there that can work with me, because I know they got a few people up there. And I'll look forward to meeting them, and I think we'll have a good time together, getting involved with different things that might even open my eyes to other factors, including nodes and stuff that I might like to consider in the near future. With that, back over to KD8VPC. Thank you, Nick, for your input.
All right there, Phil. Well, shoot, I had something, but I totally lost it. It's been a long day. I took the day off for the eclipse, and I was still up at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. So, yeah, it's been a long day there. But I'm going to skip this round and send it right over to Nick. Take it away.
Sorry, I had to wait for something to finish IDing behind me. Yeah, Phil. Yeah, the 991A does C4FM. I don't like to use the system confusion moniker because it's just confusing. You know, so you can get into the 442.275 with that and do digital. I use this night to steer that repeater to the Texas Patriots net for a couple of hours. So you can actually get out into the world there without an internet connection by steering the repeater internet connection around. And you and I can probably simplex on C4 FM, which I think you would find absolutely delightful if you like the quality of this sound. So, over to you, Phil.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, that sounds fun. We can do that. And I'll be glad to rearrange so I can get the 991 hot and ready to go. And I hope at that point that I might even be able to get my Pro 7 to be usable before we do that, so I can have fun with that. Anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think that'd be a great idea if all three of us could be together at the same time going up there, and you can show me around the candy store and kind of, you know, I'm gonna bring a notepad with me and make some notes about the things that I need to do in order to complete some stations that I need to get together, because this working off a 2 and sometimes not even 70 centimeters is not getting it for me. I mean, I like it, but not all the time. So I'll look forward to being able to hang out with you guys on pre-selected frequencies of protocol that require modes of operation that is reasonably more selective, I'll put it that way, and makes it nice so people can enjoy speaking to each other with not so much clatter or confusion or you know, interference. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and clear with you guys. So if you could give me on text a time for a Thursday that would be good for both of you. For me, it'll be open, and I'll look forward to being there with you. So just give me a shout by phone or by radio. I pretty much leave my radio on now, but do that, and I'll be ready to go. K8EPC, KDSLG, WV3K.
All right there, Phil. Well, I'll say 73 to you for now, and yeah, we'll definitely get together whatever Thursday you guys want. I can make happen, and we'll get her going there. So we'll say 73 to you, Phil, and then we'll pass it back to Nick.
WV3K, KDSLG. Good talking to you, Phil. We'll set up a Thursday. Sooner than later. Maybe the day after tomorrow, tomorrow. Maybe. Talk to Dustin about that. But Phil, have a great night. It's great talking to you. Dustin, what do you got left tonight?
Oh, not a whole lot. I'm just over here doing some research. Oh boy, I had it written down here. It's a STM32-DVM, and it basically, you can hook it to a regular analog radio, and it'll receive digital signals. Like it can be used as an MMDVM hotspot using like a Motorola radio. But I was reading about it, and people are using that same board to use for M17. So I was doing a little bit of research, and I might be able to update the firmware and use that board for M17.
Yeah, that's one of those projects I started and dropped like a hot potato. Still sitting on 2 digi-rigs. It's so open source still that it's, yeah, it's more computer than anything else. There's just no hardware for it, so you've got to grab like hardware like that and then find specific softwares or write specific softwares to make it work. So still a little bit complicated and definitely above this appliance operator's pay grade. There was somebody who was keyed up over you for like the first 20 seconds. It was just coming in as noise for me. I heard every word you had to say, but if someone was out there keying up, go for it.
KC3QND, it was me. I wanted to jump in there and say hi to you guys. KC3QND. Hi, guys.
Hi, Miss Jeannie.
Hi, Jeannie.
Hi, my favorite guys. How's everybody tonight? Dustin, I'm sorry for your grandma. I feel bad, honey. Well, I'm doing okay. Did everybody watch the eclipses today? Get away, Dustin.
All right, well, thank you, Miss Jeannie. And, yeah, we did watch the eclipse today. I was, my friend Gina and then my friend Morgan and her partner Levy came out, and we all went down to the lake and watched it. It was really cool over there at Chippewa Lake. There wasn't many people, but we got the full view, the totality, the whole nine, and then got the heck out of there before traffic got crazy. But it was something else. Definitely a once-in-a-lifetime sight. Take it away there, Nick.
W8WKY.
KC3QND, KD8APC, KD8SLG. Miss Jeannie, you bet I went out there and sat in a lawn chair for the eclipse today. It was spectacular. It exceeded my expectations. You know, leading up to it, I was going in and out every 5 or 10 minutes to watch the progress, which was kind of cool. But the totality was just fascinating. It was, to coin the word Keith used, spectacular. Spectacular. What kind of view did you have there, Jeannie? Over to you.
Well, I have this little portable TV that, you know, you can use solar on it, you could use whatever you want on it, and I hitched it up. This was the first time I've ever used it. And it has an air antenna and all this fancy stuff to it, and I found a channel on it that had the coverage for it. It was channel 5, ABC, from wherever this air antenna was pulling it from. So I set it up on the deck on the porch, and as it was getting closer to, we kept peeking at it as it was progressing, and we'd check it out on the TV, and then we'd put our glasses on. It was the same thing that they saw, so I was okay with that. And then when it was total totality, we sat there and watched it, and Wilson thought we were crazy, but he was busy watching us, and that's how we watched it. But it was pretty neat. I don't think I ever paid that much to eclipses. You know, when you're young and they talk about this stuff. You know, what the heck? I had 3 kids to chase around. I wasn't going to go out there and tinker around with some eclipse. And so this was actually my first one, so I was excited. KC3QND, back to you, Dustin.
All right, thank you, Miss Jeannie. And the neat thing is, this is a once-in-a-lifetime deal here. The next eclipse that's even going to be in the country is until 2048, and it's not going to be in the same spot. It's only going to be in, like, North Dakota and Montana and parts of northern Canada. That's it for that. The next eclipse here isn't until 2099, so it's really like it's a once-in-a-lifetime deal. So it's really cool that we got to see that today for sure. And, we were sitting there at the lake when it was getting time for totality. I stood up and took a little walk there, fired up a doobie there, and took a walk down the lake and had a good day. So there you go. That's my story there. Back to you, Nick.
Fired up a what? Oh, man. So, by the end of the week, everyone will be tired of me saying this, but I found the most fascinating thing was, during the totality, when I got tired of having my neck up there, I took the glasses off and looked around, and although it was sort of like dusk and or dawn sort of lighting out there. When you looked around, you couldn't tell which direction was which because all the directions were sort of like the same lighting. Like it looked like it was dawn or dusk in every direction, which was truly disorienting. That's what I got away from it today, and it was really cool. The whole ring and everything was just fabulous. It was a good time. I'm glad I was here, and I'm glad it wasn't too cloudy to make it happen. Over to you, Jeannie.
KC3QND, talking with Katie, 8SLG and Katie, Casey, whatever, EPC, 8EPC. Well, anyway, I thought it was a funky color of dark. I mean, my solar lights come on, I seen the stars, and it got chilly, the temperature down. And but to look around, like you said, it was a funky color, and then as it was starting to brighten up, it was like still a funky color of dark. It wasn't like a dark, it was like I don't know how to explain it, but it was a funky dark. That's what I got out of it. Over to you, Dustin.
It certainly was a funky dark, and then another thing I noticed is as soon as it got light, at first it was just like really, really white light, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know if that makes any sense. It was particularly white. There was no shades of yellow in the first light coming back out. So I got some really good pictures during that time, but yeah, it was definitely an interesting time. I was at the lake, and the frogs and the crickets started going absolutely crazy. You could see some night creatures kind of stirring about in the weeds and stuff, so there you go with that. But definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and it was good to have the day off to get to see it there.
Man, I was so looking forward to, listening for what the wildlife and everything did. And, of course, one of my idiot neighbors decided that this was the best time ever to scream around on a little Yamaha 50 or whatever. And I couldn't hear a thing. But yeah, interesting light stuff. Interesting light for sure. Katie at SLG, over to KC3QND.
KC3QND. Well, on the TV they had, on the break things, they had a guy with owls, and they were going to watch the owls to see how the owls reacted to this, because they're night predators, and they never came back and showed us what the owls did. So I was kind of disappointed in that TV jargo. But it does make you wonder what the night creatures, thought of this getting dark 6 hours or 8 hours into the day, and then for 20 minutes, and then it's sun shining again. Boy, that was a real fast night. They must have thought they were smoking doobies if they went that fast, and then they could go back to sleep. So, yeah, I would have liked to see what the owls, how they reacted, but they didn't come back and show that documentary thing. So I was kind of disappointed. KC3QND, over to you, Dustin.
As fascinated as I am about the eclipse, I'm fascinated with this portable TV. Tell me more. I need to know where you got it, because something like that sounds exactly what I need for when I'm camping out in the middle of nowhere, because I'm close enough to West Virginia, I could probably pick up at least a couple of TV stations at night when I'm laying in the van there, so, or even when I'm sitting there in the morning drinking my coffee. So when it gets back around to you, you'll have to tell me a little more about that. But yeah, we were there for we ate lunch at 12:30, left the restaurant at 1:30, so got there about 2, and we were there from 2 till 3:30, 3:45. So it was a long time sitting down there by the lake for sure. Fortunately, though, I had my hat, and I didn't get too sunburned. So there you are. Katie at EPC, back to Katie at SLG.
Oh man, that's probably why my cheeks are so red. I thought it was gin blossoms. I got too much sun today. So, Dustin, what's the guy's name? Donald, in Oklahoma. He's got 11 roosters. KI5WDM, that's it. Yeah. He was on the Boredom Breaker net this afternoon while some of it was starting and going on, and the roosters, you could hear the roosters in the background going nuts. So there, Jeannie, there's a little bit of a bird input from what was going on. Over to you, Jeannie.
WV3K break. Phil. Thank you, Jeannie. So good to hear you. Anyway, the reason why I wanted to break in there was to have a little fun. I'll explain myself. It's getting late. Sometimes that's the best time to have fun. I drive her crazy. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that it's been a long time since I've spoken with you, and I thought a couple times of giving you a phone call and asking how you and Pete have been doing, and little Mr. Wilson. And I just wanted to tell you that I miss talking to you, and it's been great when we have had some pleasant discussions, and I don't remember any bad discussions, so pleasant was always what it was. And that's good. That's always good. But anyway, it's good to hear your voice, and I thought I'd just jump in there and say, hey, listen, I wanted to get in there because I wanted to say hello to our Jeannie, and the heck with the rest of these guys. They've already talked to you, so there. Anyway, you have a wonderful evening, Jeannie. God bless you. And say hey to Pete and scratch behind the ears for my little buddy Wilson. And it was great talking to you. 73 is QN3. I think QN3D. Correct me. I'm sorry. Correct me, Jeannie. WV3K is messed up. Go ahead.
Okay, Phil, it's complicated. I get tongue twisted too. It's Kilo Charlie 3, Quebec November Delta, KC3QND. And yes, it is also good to hear you on the radio tonight. And I was going to try to get in there when you were talking, but I was busy doing something, and by the time I got here to the radio, you were already gone. But I wanted to tell you, you sound fabulous. You sound healthy. You sound good. You sound the best that I've heard you in a long time on this radio. I'm so glad that you're feeling good and you're all healthy. So that is a blessing in itself. And I think everybody's in the eclipse stagger here with our tongue ties, and Nick even got an eclipse sunburn today. So I think that's pretty neat. And that's the name of it's a 14-inch portable LED TV. And if you have a pencil, write this down. It's called TEXONIC. It's a Trexonic. It's the cutest little thing. It's nice to take in the camper. It comes with its antenna. It comes with its remote control. It comes with HMI cords. It comes with whatever you want that you might want to do with this little TV, and it is portable. I forget how many hours it was. I haven't played with it that much. It was my sister's. She ordered it off of HSN or QVC. So, and I think it was like maybe $100 and something. I'm not sure what she paid for it, but it wasn't never taken out of the box until she had it out of the box because she lost the remote control, but you can work it without that. So that's my story there, okay? And nice talking to you, Phil. Back to you, Dustin.
All right, thank you there, Miss Jeannie. Yeah, I've been looking at portable TVs lately. I'm like, that'd be nice for camping season, have something I can throw in the van there and have something to do in the evenings, or if I don't want to be out hiking. So The radio is alright. I like listening to the radio. I like even setting up radio and trying to play a little radio while I'm out there, but, you know, sometimes you just need to rot your brain with television. I don't even really watch TV, though, here at home. If I do watch something, it's usually something streamed. I haven't watched anything on actual antenna TV in ages. But anyway, folks, it's starting to get late, and I do have to do laundry still, so I'm only going to go a couple more rounds here. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to KD at SLG. Take it away there, Nick.
KD at SLG returning. Shut up, Dustin. You're staying here all night. Jeannie and I are going to keep you here until the bars close. Yeah, is that the eclipse stagger that's going on there, Jeannie? Are you sure that's the eclipse stagger? Jeannie, are you going to be at the Cuyahoga Falls Hamfest over the weekend? And if you are you going to bring Pete with you? And more importantly, are you going to bring Mr. Wilson? Over to you, Jeannie.
KC3QAD. Pete and I were thinking about loading up this stuff and taking it down here and setting up. But we figured we'd have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get down there to get things set up. And after the last Hamfest, I don't know if I've got that kind of energy. So we're just advertising this stuff different places on the sites, try to get rid of the rest of this stuff and at least the radios and see how that goes. But we didn't do bad at the Norris Hamfest. We did pretty good. So I was happy with that, and so was Anthony. So that's my story. I don't think we're even going to go to that one. I don't really need anything. I just bought an amplifier from DX, and I love it. It's simple, it's easy, it's cute, it's kind of pretty. And yes, this is the Eclipse Lexus hour. How's that? Or evening. Put it that way. And I just can't talk right, can't walk right, can't stand right, can't sit right.
It's the booze.
I didn't have any booze. But I'm thinking about it. I might get some booze. I have to go find my stash on my American Honey. I have stashes everywhere, so Pete's got a head. So with that, over to you, Dustin. Take it away.
Well, let's see. I'll take one bourbon, one scotch, and one beer. So there you go. Boy, I don't know. I don't have anything else. I done said what I had to say there, and my brain is turned to mush. So, Nick, take it away.
Squeak.
Who dat? Go ahead.
KC3ND, QND. This is Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo. No, and I have not drank anything that would be spirit related. No, this is just joy in life. And that's what makes it fun for me. So when I have fun with you. Anyway, just wanted to say hello and say goodbye and wish you a very pleasant and very blessed week. And I'm looking forward to meeting with my buddies on Thursday when they decide they want to get together. And we're going to make it a wholesome and a very meeting-needed objectives times for moi. So with that being said, I'm going to leave it at that and say thank you all for those who are concerned. You might want to be concerned if they know me where I'm going with this. No, I'm just teasing. Anyway, you guys get ready to get some rest. I think it's best to do my time. KD SLG and KD EPC and KC3QND. This is Whiskey Victor, 3 Kilo. Gotta learn to close the doors up on the top side of the skeleton and get ready for bed. Nice talking with you all. My love to all of you, and God bless you. 7-3, guys.
W8WKY repeater PL1 14.8.
And a word from our sponsor, WV3K, KC3QND, KD8VPC. This is KD8SLG. That's how you do it, Phil. No bourbon, no scotch, no beer tonight, Dustin. No siree. But the proof and the name are the same. Or is it the name and the proof are the same? No, the proof and the name are the same. 110. There you go. Phil, you have a great night. You sound giddy. Get some sleep. Jeannie, you should probably put a bow on this for us. KC3QND, KD8SLG.
W8WKY.
KC3QND. Well, I probably could put a bow on it, but I can't reach the airwaves. So, you know, that it's out of luck. Can't reach the airwaves. But I did QVC on this portable TV. It's a Textronic portable rechargeable 14-inch LED TV with HDMI, SD, MMC, USB, VGA, AV, in and out, and built-in digital tuner. And this one comes in blue, and it's $103.46. So that's my story. But isn't it a beautiful night? It is a beautiful night out, and we had all that bad weather, and today we were blessed with all this beautiful weather, the sunshine and the warm temperatures. I had shorts and a T-shirt on and didn't freeze and didn't get wet and didn't get snowed on when I went outside. I was so excited. So this is KC3QND, and I'm going to send it back to Dustin.
I have a mouthful of candy bar. Go, Nick.
Don't you lay a finger on my butterfinger. Oh, Jeannie. Phil threw me off last time around. You know, I heard third-party traffic in there. You think you can get Pete to get on the air and say hi to us?
Well, Nick, since you so insist, KANQK here. Well, good evening, everybody. Okay, have fun. Yeah, I had evil thoughts on that one, but anyway, yeah, I don't get on the radio that much. I do get on HF. I spend a lot of time on that, more than I do on VHF or UHF, but yeah, I heard you guys in there. And Phil, if you're still around, it was great hearing you. I said I don't get on the VHF, UHF very much, but it was great hearing you. So thank you for the thoughts this way. But Nick, I don't know, you're a handful. And you sure passed up on a good one there, Nick. A good entry to Jeannie when she said that she was outside with shorts on and a T-shirt. And I think I'll leave that the rest of you to figure out what she said. So with that, back to you, K8NQK.
KANQK, KD8SLG. Hey, man, I wasn't gonna make any jokes about Jeannie. Good to hear you on the air, man, and always good to see you. Dustin, take it away.
All right, thank you there, Nick. Well, first of all, great to hear Pete out there. It's been a long time there, so we'll say hello to Pete. And Nick, good to hear you and Phil and Miss Jeannie and everybody. But I really do have to say 73, or I've got to be to work at like 7:45 in the morning to put the truck away. So I've got and we'll do it all again there tomorrow. So I'm going to say 73 all the way around, and boy, I think that brings it back to you, Nick. Take it away.
Gee, dude, if you have to be at work at 7:45, we got like at least 9 more hours. Have at it there, Dustin. Great talking to you, man. This was fun as hell. Katie at SLG. KC3QND. What do you got left there, Jeannie? It's just you and me.
Well, I also sent and got one of those Vito ham clock things. It's like $50. And it comes with its own little computer thing, software pack. It comes, you hitch it into your monitor, your TV monitor, and you have to put one of those USB Wi-Fi plug things in it to hitch it up to your Wi-Fi. And it's the neatest thing. And I had the eclipse on it today when the eclipse was going over, but I didn't watch it actually happen. I watched the moon and the sun come to join each other on it, and it's just like the ham clock software thing that you buy, but there is something about this that is different than the regular ham clock. But I think you can send and get another software package that takes you to whatever that is. I can't remember. I was reading up on it, but I put it on the screen, and it looks like, it makes my ham shack look like a ham shack, because it's got all these pretty little things floating around all over the screen. Do you have ham clock, Nick?
I do not, Jeannie, because, really, does anyone really know what time it is? No, I don't, but I know Chuck, KB8LJ, has been working with one of those things, and I've looked into them a few times, but you know what? I spend so little time on HF, and I know it's a nice little background thing, but it sounds like the kind of thing that I'd get sucked into and spend weeks setting it up, and then I probably wouldn't run it anyway. So I have not. So no, to answer your question, in a word, no. But I took the long way to get there.
Yeah, but you have such a nice, pretty ham shack area there, and it would look really nice in your little area. And it does show the POTA stuff, where POTA's going, and all the different meters and the activities on those meters. And it gets these little cute little firefly little shoots that shoot out and tells you what's, like over to Europe and all of Canada and South America and all these little jiggly different colored lines for all these different meters. Like you got orange for 40, yellow for 20, funky green for 80, and blue and red. It is the neatest thing. But, yeah, I just like lights. So, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, what did you do all weekend?
Katie at SLG returning with KC3QND. There goes the phone. I like lights and buzzers and whistles too there, Jeannie, but I'd have to add a third monitor. And if I did that, I'd want to add another computer, and that's actually within the realm of things to do. I will consider it. But you know what? I spend so little time on HF. I talked about this on the Texas Patriots Net tonight. That was one of the questions was, what do you think about the up and down conditions of DXing lately? And honestly, if I didn't talk to you guys on nets, I wouldn't know, because I just spend so little time there that, it's just not on my radar. and I got so many other things going on. It takes these two monitors to run nets, so I would literally have to add a third monitor. There are a few of those around. There are a couple computers too, so I will take it under advisement, because I do like having the accoutrement around, as you well know. Go, Jeannie.
AC3QND. I'm going to go. You said go, Jeannie. I'll go. Well, you said there went the phone. Where did it go? Did it run past you on the way out the door? Those phones, they go all the time. But, you know, I like this because I got my KC3QND up in all different colors, and it looks so pretty. I'll have to send you a picture of it. That's what I'll do. And let's see, what else have I been getting into? Oh, I did a WPX contest over Easter weekend. I didn't get very much time on it because I was cooking, but I did. They shouldn't have contests on a holiday when women have to cook and if they're ham radio operators, because you just don't have the time to put into it. But I sent it in, so I'll get a certificate anyway, because I do that one every year. Last year I got an award that I was the fifth in I come in fifth anyway for something, but I got a certificate for it. So I was happy with that. I like the certificates. They're pretty neat. Did you ever do any certificates, Nick? KC3QND, over to you, KD8SLG.
Oh, well, first we'll start with how was my weekend was fine, Jeannie. I spent it with the girl, and that's always a good time. So there's that. And certificates, no, I don't go for wallpaper. That would require me keeping records or something and logging stuff. And wow, you know, I do keep impeccable records of all of my ham radio transactions. I just taking the time to submit stuff like that just seems, yeah. Maybe someday I'll get into it, but right now, you know, it's running nets and having fun conversations like this for me. KD8SLG.
Having fun conversations like this where you could actually hear the other person without all the static. That's what I like about the 2 meters and 70 centimeters, because you don't have all that static and you can actually hear the people that you're talking to. And if you want to ask them questions, you're not going to fade away and never get an answer, because you never know what channel frequency they're going to be back on or what mode. Yeah, that is DXing is difficult, but I'm known pretty well, as my Pete would tell me, that I was talking to a guy in Slovenia, and then he hitched up with the same guy one day, and he said that his better half, he gave him my call sign. He says, "Oh, Miss Jeannie, I know Miss Jeannie. I talk to her all the time." And he was the nicest little Slovenian guy. And I just found out, I haven't heard him for so long. Here he had passed away, but his 2 brothers and his wife are also hams. And I haven't talked to his wife, but I have talked to his brother. So that was good. And I gave them my condolences, because I did not know that Slovak passed away. But he was a nice guy. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Over to you, KD8SLG.
Oh, Miss Jeannie, you are legend worldwide. And I'm sorry to hear about Slovak. All right, Jeannie, I'm going to pull the plug on this thing so I can get up in the morning. And there goes my phone again, by the way. So I'm going to bid you adieu. KC3QND, this is Katie at SLG. I'm going to be clear on your final, Jeannie, and it was fabulous talking to you tonight.
WV3K, third-party traffic, break.
Go, Robin.
Thank you. I heard somebody wanted to hear the better half of WV3K. Well, that's me. So I just thought I'd jump on here and tell everybody hello tonight.
That's wonderful. Hello. Good night, I guess. This is KC3QND Jeannie.
WV3K, better half. Thank you, Jeannie. You have a good night as well.
There you go. WV3K Robin / Robin. You have a good night, too. Jeannie, take it away.
Okay, Robin. Okay, Nick. I'm going to let you all go, too, because Pete's going to start to close things up here and get nighttime medication for this old lady and take it and take Mr. Wilson, and we're going to tromp on upstairs and go to bed because it's getting late. You know, I don't want to have to turn into Cinderella here, and I don't want to have to take and lose a slipper and all this stuff, so I have to be in bed before midnight, you know, or I turn into one of them Cinderella ladies, which would be nice if they'd make me go back to like 39 or 40, maybe 45. Yeah, 45 would be good. So with that, KC3QND 73, everybody, and have a wonderful eclipse evening.
This is Katie at SLG. I'm clear.
KD8 FLG KE0WLN. How are you doing today?
I believe that was KE0WLM. This is Katie at SLG. I'm wrapping it up for the day. How you doing?
I don't know how I'm doing. I'm just busy and keep trying to keep everybody in line. That's what I'm doing. Getting on these repeaters and trying to make sure everybody's out of trouble.
Well, man, you came to the wrong place because everybody here is in trouble. Or making trouble, causing trouble, whatever. Looks like you're Earl there in North Dakota. I'm Nick, November India Charlie Kilo, Katie at SLG. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, that's a definite no. It's KE0WLM, as in Mike, and my name is Ty, and I'm in Kansas. North Dakota's probably 600 miles from me, at least.
Sorry about that there, Ty. It's a little late for me to be not getting call signs correctly, but I got you in there, K0WLM. A little slip of the fingers. Nice to meet you there, Ty. And outside of trying to keep people in line, what else you up to tonight?
Did a little cooking for some people, and that's about it. Made some scrambled eggs. Did you eat some supper tonight?
I did, in fact. Oh man, there goes the phone again. Yeah, I'm trying desperately to remember. I threw a steak on the George Foreman grill, and I had some macaroni salad. That's what I recall at the moment.
W8WKY.
Yep, I did some rock climbing last weekend. Still trying to recuperate from it, but yeah, I really don't need it to recuperate because it's fun. Climbed it twice all the way to the top. Pro climber.
All right there, Ty. So, is that like the indoor rock climbing kind of things, or are you talking about actually rock climbing?
It was a rock wall. I was at a camp. I go to a school, and I went to a camp this weekend. 50 feet twice all the way up.
Well, that's pretty awesome, man. If I may ask, what school has you doing that?
I go to a school for the blind, and I was doing that. So that's what I was doing.
Well, that definitely makes it more interesting, I'm sure. Well, actually, I'm not sure. I'm assuming. But if you had me close my eyes and start climbing up the side of a rock, I'd think twice.
I know. But it's actually like a rock wall. But I got it done.
All right, then, man. Fine business. Well, I had just signed off with a couple of other folks, and I'm definitely at the end of my string for the evening. But you're definitely welcome back here on the W8WKY anytime. I got another round or two in me, though. I'm wondering what drew you to coming here.
I just like to talk to interesting people. I'm not one person that sits on one repeater. I like to scan the repeaters and talk to different people. That's what I enjoy most about this hobby, and like get on VHF and UHF and talk to different people. Simplex repeaters. You know, I just ran them through the Echo Link, and I decided to come here and make sure y'all are out of trouble.
Well, if it's keeping people out of trouble you're looking for, I'm going to invite you back on Wednesday and Sunday nights here on this repeater, the W8WKY, Echo Link W8WKY-R, I believe. We've got the beacon net, and since you seem to be a night owl, I'll tell you about it. It starts at 10 o'clock Eastern. We do early check-ins a half hour beforehand. We've got a couple of trivia questions, and it's good group of folks. We have a good time, and you're certainly welcome to come back to that. And if you're up early in the mornings, we've got a net that starts at 7 a.m. Eastern here, and that's the barometer net, and that starts Monday through Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. So, bookmark this one because there's usually someone on this repeater. So if you're looking for someone to talk to, this is a place to go. And if you're looking for nets, we've got some really good ones.
I know. I understand. Yep. What are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow's a Tuesday. The barometer net at the ungodly hour of 7 a.m. And we have club net tomorrow night at 8 o'clock our time. And in between that, I'll be just working along, just like everybody else, making that nickel for the day.
Yep. What do you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking?
If I told you, Ty, I'd have to hunt you down. Oh, man. Ty, I got to get out of here. I'm going to, I'll be clear on your final, but KE0WLM, this is KD at SLG. I'll be listening for you here on the repeater again. But I'm going to be clear on your final tonight. Have a great night there, man. KD at SLG, clear with KE0WLM on your final.
You don't need to hunt me down about your occupation. I just wondered. Alright, this is KE0WLM listening for anybody else out there tonight.
Oh, dang, I can't leave a call hanging. This is KD80PC. Good evening.
How are you doing today there, sir?
Oh, it's getting to be the end of the night here, but all in all, we can't complain there. Had a good day there checking out that eclipse and all that good stuff.
Yeah, the boss man let you check it out?
You know, I have seniority, so I told him I wasn't coming in today.
Ooh, so you're the one of the higher-ups, then.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a higher up, but I'm definitely not the low man on the totem pole. I've been there a long time.
Well, that's good. So what else did you do on your day off work?
Well, not a lot. Had lunch with friends, did the eclipse, came home, took a nap, went out this evening and picked up some ice cold tea from up the road, and that was about it. Not a whole lot. I got a load of laundry in there now. Got another few minutes on that. Got to switch that and head towards bed because that 7 a.m. alarm comes way too quick.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Get back to the grind. What do you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in the restaurant business. I've worked for a family-owned restaurant for the last, almost 13 years now.
Manager?
W8WKY.
There's not enough money in the world that you can pay me to do that job there.
Well, you said you were higher up on the totem pole, so that was my guess.
Yeah, just a long-term valued employee. As far as on my shift, there's like 6 guys that are lower on the totem pole than me, so there you go.
I guess it'll have to do with experience.
Oh yeah, how about you? What did you do today?
Go to school. Work at a store a little bit. Do some job training. Oh, I've always wanted to do a career in radio, but I guess we'll see if that happens in a few years, but I don't know.
Very good there. So I believe I overheard you and Nick chatting there, and you had mentioned that you were blind. And I'll tell you what, I've got another friend that's a ham that is that's blind, and he actually has a job as he's a dispatcher for a fire department. Believe it or not.
I've thought about that too. I've thought about packaging. I've thought about a lot of different things. You just have to, I guess I'll be a jack of all trades, I guess.
Well, it never hurts to know a little bit about everything, but it's always better to know a lot about something, right?
Yep.
Hey, we've been talking. I don't think I caught your name here. The name here is Dustin, Delta Uniform Sierra Tango India November, and we're in Medina, Ohio, about 25 miles south of Cleveland. Back to you.
My name's Ty Tango Yankee. Yeah, so what do you do at the restaurant, if you don't mind me asking?
I've had all kinds of positions over the years. Nowadays, I'm mostly a delivery guy, but tomorrow morning I've got to go in and I put a truck away. I'll have a bunch of frozen stuff to prep and portion out for the next few days, and there's just a few things like that. So tomorrow actually starts my weekend. I finish tomorrow, get off after lunch, and then I'll be off again till Friday. But yeah, mostly, like I said, mostly deliveries nowadays. A little bit of prep and maintenance around the restaurant and stuff, but I started out there as a dishwasher. I've answered phones. I've been on the line cooking. I've done everything there is to do, really.
Yep, and ham radio has a lot of different professions. There's people from bakers to dishwashers to truckers to about every career you can think of.
Oh yeah, funny enough, I originally went to school to be a diesel mechanic. I took 2 years of school, got done with that, went out and got a job as a diesel mechanic, did it for a little bit and absolutely hated it. Then I didn't do anything for a while, and then I got the job I've got now. It's just a temporary something to hold me through till I found something better, and here we are, just about 13 years later. Go figure. But anyway there, Ty, I hate to cut it short with you, but it's getting late, and my laundry just got done in the washer. I've got to throw it in the dryer and get myself to bed. But it's been great to chat with you, and I'd love to hear you again there. I think Nick's probably already told you, come back and visit us Sunday and Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the Beacon Net. I run the Wednesday night show, and me and Nick do that, and then the other guys do the Sunday night show. And if not, just come back here to the repeater and visit us. There's always somebody listening, and anytime I'm home, I've got it on. So with that, I'm going to say thanks for stopping by. Good to make your acquaintance there, and I hope to catch you again there down the log. This is KD80PC saying 73, and I'll be clear on your final.
All right, well, there's different people working different times of the day. So I understand. This is Kilo Echo Zero, Whiskey Lima Mike, listening for anybody else out there.
W8WKY.